All right, this is Two Deans No Waiting. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dean.
And my name is Dean.
He is Greek, I am Mexican. We make one fine-looking Greeksican.
Who fucking cares? Who cares, buddy?
Let's
talk about what's really going on in the
We've
world.
We've got so much to talk about, too.
Take your gloves off.
Every week.
Take your gloves off.
Yes, my gloves are off.
Uh-huh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just wondered if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
All right. So, I mean, there's so many things going on right now. Everything from, of course, the Middle East. That hasn't stopped.
Hasn't stopped since 48.
Right. I guess. And it's getting bad. Is U.S. preparing for a big war in the Middle East with Iran? That's the sources
rumor.
have been saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
that's where the Houthis are.
And also the security breach that you were talking about.
God.
I want to go ahead, though. Go ahead, because there's some things about that I just found out that are very interesting. But go ahead.
Okay, so let's go back. I want to say maybe a month ago when these people, Hegseth, Gabbard, et cetera, were all getting confirmed by Congress. I had said they are so overwhelmingly overwhelmingly underqualified for these jobs. And this thing right here proves that I was right. These people are morons.
But do you know exactly what happened and how did this happen?
This is what happened.
Explain.
This is what I find interesting. This guy Mike Waltz is the one that invited. First off, we were going to bomb Yemen. Because the Houthis were messing with Israel.
We're going to talk about that too.
We will. But this is what the whole thing was. So they had a group chat of I want to say like 9 or 10 people. I can look it up. But
do you know what program they're using?
Signal.
Okay. All right. This is the problem. This is when I talk about sensationalism. This is something that's been happening for 12 years. This is protocol. This is how the government communicates with each other. This started under the Obama administration. I'm not blaming Obama. I'm not blaming Biden, and I'm not blaming Trump. This is something that the government has been doing. The problem is you and I can download this app on our phone.
Right. We shouldn't be able to.
So that's not their fault, okay?
Whose fault is that?
I'll tell you whose fault. It's the government and the government responsible for, number one, who did the government hire to do this? The Chinese? Was it DARPA? Was it the CIA?
To do what?
To create this program. This program was created by an outside source.
Right.
Okay, does this outside source have a back door to get into this?
Probably.
Okay, that's my problem, okay? And this isn't Trump. This is not the Trump administration's fault. Okay, no, it's not, and I'll tell you why. Okay,
that is so laughable.
Signal.
That is so laughable.
But this is the thing. They've done this before. You said that this is something that's happened before, but why is it a problem now? This is the way the government communicates, is through Signal. Okay, and do you know who the head CEO is through Signal? But let me tell you something. But before I even get into that. Do you know my problem is that when the Democratic Party was using Signal, remember the George Floyd riots? Okay, they were connected to non-organizations that were using Signal to orchestrate the riots. Okay. Why wasn't anybody talking about that?
Because that's probably not true.
No, it is true. It is true, and that's my problem. You don't remember the Arab Spring? Remember the Arab Spring?
I remember Arab Spring.
Okay, how did they orchestrate Arab Spring? Was it through Signal?
Who's orchestrating it?
I'm just saying.
I have no idea.
These things are created by the government themselves. Okay, so we don't know who did create it.
Okay,
who did?
This is my problem with this. Okay, Mike Waltz, who is God, I can't remember these people. Hold on here. I got it. I have all of this right here.
Well, I mean, look,
he had that journalist's phone number. Okay. For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't want to.
So why
go into that because I have no idea.
Why is it a big problem that this is how they communicate? This is something that every administration has done this, and it's a problem now.
It's a problem now because this moron, Mike Waltz, where is he? There he is, National Security Advisor. That's what he is. Mike Waltz is this National Security Advisor. This moron invited the journalist onto it. That's the problem.
Okay, I have the bigger problem. we shouldn't be able to download this application.
Oh, I agree. No, I agree with you on that.
That's the bigger problem. That's what they should be talking about. Now, as far as reporters go, they do have sources, okay? Reporters are allowed to know some stuff. That's why they're reporters. Depending on how honest this person is, I don't know. But I'm saying this is something that every administration since Obama has used. And this lady right here, who is Catherine... can you hear me? Sounds like I'm not getting a signal.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Maybe the CIA, if I can cut their conversation here. They're going to turn off the lights. Okay, Catherine Marr. Okay, and she's head of NPR, who is also the founder and chairman of the... she's CEO of Signal Messenger. Okay, she's one of the founders.
Okay.
Okay, so she's a far leftist.
Yes.
And NPR was the ones that actually came out and said this to demonize the Trump administration. But they have to understand, the person that is a part of this organization is a part of their organization. So this goes back to what I said.
Hold on. Did you say Obama used this?
Under the Obama administration.
This was the first time?
12 years ago, 14 years ago, whenever they started using this. Yeah, Signal's been around for a long time.
So you're telling me that a leftist made this for a left-wing president?
A leftist made this, or they were associated,
I'm shocked.
okay? This is what I'm saying. I mean, this is the way the government's working, okay? I mean, maybe they should find another way to do this instead of
absolutely
sending out, especially if people like you and I can go online,
right. We shouldn't be able
to download. You know what? If I were Waltz, I wouldn't have come out and said what he did, because he did take blame for it. Okay, I would have said this is government protocol. Basically, people are upset that, from what I'm understanding, not only because the reporter was involved, but the way they're sending out the messages. But that's the way the system works. Well, you can't blame the administration for that.
I can.
Now, as far as the reporter goes, I don't know who the reporter is, but he's got to be a reliable source, I guess.
He works for the Atlantic magazine. I think he's the head publisher or something. He's the head guy for it, basically. Okay. So this is interesting to me. Tim Waltz has his number. Why? Does he leak stuff out to him?
Tim Waltz was the
Mike Waltz. I'm sorry.
Same last name. Okay.
Yeah, Mike Waltz.
I don't know. You think that's probably like
That's possible.
That's possible, but that's not the first time something like that's happened.
Right. No, I understand that. But he had his phone number. And I don't want to get into a relationship. Like I said, I don't know. It'd be all up to speculation. But he added him on there. That means they're not being careful. On top of that, Pete Hegseth. He's the guy. He's the head of. He's the Secretary of Defense. He said that it was clear that their whole chat was clear. Everything was secured. Not a problem here. We can continue to talk.
My problem.
That is a huge problem.
Okay, now, who was in charge of creating this application? Does anybody know?
You just told me that girl from.
Well, she was a part of the board.
Oh, well, I don't know. She's probably Chinese.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
TikTok.
Do they have like a backdoor thing where they can get in and do what they want?
Probably.
But you have to blame the government for this.
I blame them
for sure. But I don't know if I'd pin one administration, because, like I said, Obama used it. Trump probably used it this first term, and I'm sure Biden's used it too. But like I said, the bigger problem I have is when you have people within the Democratic Party, and I don't know, maybe possibly the Republican Party. It hasn't happened yet. But when they're tied to non-government organizations, they can use that application to, like I said, to orchestrate whatever they want, whether it's a coup, whether it's riots, and it's happened with George Floyd. From what I understand, the far left were using that to orchestrate the riots. That's bad, and that application. Well, I mean, look. I usually say it. It's gonna have. You're gonna find out.
All you want.
3 months later, you're gonna be, oh, okay, you were right.
Well, in 3 months, if that's the case, I will say that.
Trust me, but you got to look into it, because I looked into this. In the beginning, I didn't quite understand what was happening. I just thought it was like leaking, Well, okay, but then I'm thinking, was this AI? AI gone wild? I don't know. Well, I mean, look how far advanced AI is, right? I'm not saying this was AI, but I am scared of artificial intelligence, okay?
Oh, I am too.
And so are they, and they don't talk about it enough.
No.
Because it's growing a whole new form. It's doing whatever it wants. You know what AI could do? It could call your phone. It could call your phone, okay, and make it sound like I'm on the phone talking.
Right.
So who's to say that AI couldn't do something like this?
Well, I don't think if AI can do that on its own. I mean, somebody has to do that.
I think
at this point,
it's gone
at this point.
I think they're far advanced, man.
I don't. Well, and at any rate, listen. All they had to do was say, "Listen, this happened. It was an accident. I'm sorry. This will not happen again. We're not going to use this again. Whatever. Some kind of crap like that." No. What did they do? They demonized the reporter that they invited to the chat.
From what I understand, Waltz did take credit for what happened.
Okay.
From what but I don't think I'd blame the president for that one. There's a lot of things to blame him for, but that's not one thing I would blame him in.
They asked the president about it. You know what he said?
They should change the whole. What do you think he's going to say? Well, I'm going to take the blame. You ain't going to come out and say that.
No. What he said was, "I don't know anything about it."
So maybe he didn't. Hey, wait a minute. Did Kennedy have any idea about the Bay of Pigs?
Oh, please, yes, he did.
Oh, no, Kennedy had no idea about the Bay of Pigs. What do you think they killed him for? He put a stop to the Bay of Pigs. I don't want to go back 100 years.
No, he didn't want it. I know
he didn't have any idea about the Bay of Pigs.
He did.
So how do you know that Trump had any idea about this?
About the
bombing?
there
are rogue. About the bombing of that's different. I mean about this reporter who was invited in.
Okay, listen, they're all demonizing this reporter that was invited in. They're demonizing him. For what?
Well, welcome to Washington.
They're the ones that invited him. That doesn't make any sense.
But I mean, we could talk about this topic for a while. But now, since we're talking about bombing,
let me tell you. Hold on here. You're telling me that President Trump didn't know we were bombing Yemen?
I didn't say that.
That's a huge problem.
I didn't say that. Well, like I said,
he said he didn't know anything about it.
But this is the thing. Kennedy did not know about the Bay of Pigs. Would that be the first time? When Kennedy found out, he wanted to stifle the CIA.
Okay.
Hence why they killed him.
All right, so the CIA.
I don't need 1,000 papers to tell me.
I'm not talking about Kennedy.
Well, I'm just
talking
saying.
about Trump.
I know we are. I'm not saying about the bombing. I'm saying about the reporter that was there.
Oh, in the Snapchat.
But this is the thing. Okay, the mainstream media is complaining that the way they're doing this, it's like through the internet or it's through the phone. Well, yeah, that's the way they've been doing it for 12 years. And now they're bringing this up?
I'm fine with that. It's just that we should not be able to download it. Like you said, that's insane.
Okay, well, that's something totally different that nobody says. It's kind of like...
nobody's saying that.
No, nobody's saying that.
I do this.
It's kind of like the things with the airplanes. Remember how that accident happened because the two planes collided?
Oh, yeah.
You had... what the hell are military...
The plane in the... helicopter.
Why are they doing military maneuvers in the middle of an airport? That's the same thing.
Oh yeah,
right?
There's all kinds of questions here.
But
I'm telling you, this is incompetence. That's what happened. Incompetence.
Well, what I'm saying is,
and it's going to happen again because these guys are retards.
What I'm saying is this, okay?
Underqualified.
Okay, they've been doing this for 12 years. Nobody said anything. Just like when Obama was deporting people, nobody said nothing. Now that Trump's doing it, you have a different administration with different ideas. They're going to try to demonize these guys. Okay, as far as the reporter going in there, I don't know who it is. I don't know what kind of source he is. I'm more concerned about you and I can download this shit.
Yeah.
And who created this program.
Okay.
And it's been around for 12 years.
All right. Well, I'm concerned with, I don't know, military secrets being out there.
Well,
that's huge. Hey, listen.
Like leaks. What about leaks in the White House?
Listen, I was in the military. I did something like this. Court-martialed.
Of course.
Immediately. These people are still have their jobs. They're stalking around. They're going on the news and shit. This is bullshit.
The powers that be, man, they do what they want.
And this
whether right or wrong.
I don't know, but Tulsi Gabbard and Hegseth were both in the military, and they know better. They should have resigned immediately.
For what? Just because of this application?
Because they're stupid.
Why? For what? This is a protocol the government's been doing for 12 years.
This is a huge breach.
It's a breach.
Absolutely.
But it's one person to blame or the whole group?
I think everybody in there.
So you send me something on my phone. It's a group message.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
It was a group message.
Right.
But this is something that's been going on for 12 fucking years. Now we're going to say something about it.
Well, yeah, because this happened.
But if it happened under Obama, nobody would say nothing.
That's not true. I would say the same thing.
Not you, but they. I'm talking about the people
Reporters?
the establishment media.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Nevertheless.
If this is a breach is a breach. I don't care who the president is.
Well, look.
And this guy is an idiot. I'm sorry.
I don't know enough to talk about this guy, but
I
think he's stupid for taking the blame. I would have sat there. I would have said, look, Okay, this is something that we've been doing, this government's been doing for 12 years. So really, I didn't break any rules because the last administration, the administration
Except
before
for
that,
inviting a
doing
journalist
that.
into
Okay,
it.
I'm sure, whatever. I'm sure that's not the first time that's happened either.
Well, I'm just saying, I think this is a huge problem, and those people need to resign.
I think
or be removed.
I think we have bigger problems than that.
Oh,
really do.
there's bigger problems.
Let's
yeah,
talk about the Middle East
but
and
hey,
what's
man,
going on.
there's bigger problems all around our country, and we're worried about stupid crap like
Of
the
course.
Gulf of America.
I know that's
So,
ridiculous.
I know, yeah, I know that.
I'm not gonna endorse that.
I'm not either. It's stupid.
It is stupid, very stupid. But we
Anyway.
want to talk about the war in the Middle East. I mean,
Okay,
that's
this
just
is
getting so hot.
This is getting even worse. Israel has now bombed Beirut. They bombed a warehouse, I believe, that
No,
was
they
in a.
didn't. Oh, it's an improvement. They didn't
Yeah.
bomb a hospital or a school.
Listen, I'm not done. They bombed a warehouse that had drones in it. Okay, and that was near two schools and a hospital.
Okay.
They just don't seem. Now they did say they put out a warning saying we're going to bomb this place, so get out of there.
Right.
Okay, that's a little bit better, but it's still bad. What happens if? Oh, because there's always collateral damage, and that's not even just people, human lives. That's all your belongings. If my house was next to that warehouse, I'm pretty sure that place is you can't go back to that.
I know, and
Who's going to pay for that?
And so Israel's, bombing Palestine, of course. Now they bombed Beirut, and almost, was it a few days ago? The United States bombs
Yemen.
Yemen, and they bombed, I think, a school, was it, or a hospital?
In Yemen?
Yeah. Didn't they bomb?
I don't know.
They bombed something in Yemen that was not exactly
Wasn't
military.
what it was supposed to go for, huh?
Never.
Wow, I'm shocked.
No, I think they bombed a hospital. Yeah.
That is horrible.
It is, and all because Israel wants to take over a big portion of the Middle East, and things are getting hot. And see, this is sources are saying that the U.S. is preparing to possibly bomb Iran.
That's scary.
Yes, very scary. And from what I hear, they have 6 stealth nuclear bombers sent to that region, to the Indian Sea. There's a what is that? There's a military base in the Indian Ocean, and it's owned by
Is it Diego Garcia?
Diego Garcia.
I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So then you know firsthand.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well,
half of
have
that
you been there?
Yeah. Half of that island is the United States. The other half is
England.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they
Diego
have
Garcia.
6 of their stealth bombers there, and I don't think they're going to use those.
It might.
Why
wouldn't they?
I mean, they're not going to. Let me finish.
Okay.
They're not going to. They're not going to use those stealth bombers to bomb Yemen. I think it's
okay.
Iran. That's what they're saying. I hope it's fake. I hope it's just posture.
I hope so too.
Because
This is horrible.
That if that were to happen, let me tell you how Iran would respond. 2 ways: blow up U.S. military bases, or blow up U.S. Or oil fields, or even worse would be Iran could create a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, which 20% of the world's oil is shipped to. Overnight, oil would go to like $10 a gallon.
At least.
It would. I mean, you wouldn't be able to afford to go to work with inflation the way it is. That
Right.
could crash markets. I mean, that's worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. It could possibly happen. But you know who would benefit from this?
Well-
Russia. Russia would benefit from this in this regard. They're set up for this already. They're so sufficient. They have oil. Okay. They have all the resources in Ukraine they need. But you know who's not going to benefit from it?
Us.
China. China.
That's
Because
interesting.
China gets 80% of their oil from Iran.
Oh, really?
So China wouldn't be happy if something like that happened.
So the bulk of our oil comes from Canada, who we just put massive tariffs on. That's great. Okay, so how about this scenario? I mean, you said who would benefit over us of oil going up like that?
Israel always benefits.
Tesla,
Oh,
because they're electric.
well, I doubt it because by the time they get done, all those cars will be blown up and burnt.
Oh, I know, that's horrible too, and we don't condone that, by the way.
We don't condone this, man.
I like protesting. No problem with protesting. That's our right. We should be able to do that. However, you don't go and just start bombing cars and setting them on fire and what have you. No violence.
Well,
Stand there on the
but-
sidewalk with your picket sign.
I
That's all you got to do.
Basically, I mean, it ain't doing nothing anyways. But I mean, the powers that be are going to do whatever they want.
Yep.
I mean, but this stuff is getting hot, man, and I know that these wars are not stopping.
No,
I know.
Oh,
wars
we got the president that doesn't want war, wants to stop all the wars. He hasn't done any of that.
Look,
he started bombing somebody.
You can be Moses and not be able to stop these wars.
Well, I understand
because,
that,
like
but
we talked about before, the fire's already been lit. There's so many things that need to happen in order for these things to stop.
just going by his
And I don't
campaign
think-
promises.
Well,
That he said it, not me.
A politician making promises he doesn't commit to. Come on,
I know it.
that's unreal. I never heard of that.
Well, that's what happens. You get it. It gets used against you.
Yeah, I know, but I know you got a whole bunch of stuff there.
How do you feel about these pro-Palestinian protesters that have green cards that are being harassed and taken away? This one lady was taken away by officials in masks. What is that?
Look, you should have a right to assembly.
I agree.
Whether you believe in that ideology or you don't, or you're for it or you're against it, you should have a right
Free speech.
to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right to assembly.
Right.
Get on your soapbox and preach.
Even if you have a green card.
Right.
I agree.
If that's true, and it might be. I've read about stuff like that. I'm totally against that.
I agree with you, Dean.
And it's something that, I don't like this one-sided politics where, Israel can do no wrong and Palestine can do no right. I wouldn't like it the other way around either. I'd be against it then.
Oh, absolutely. If there was
the shoe were on the other foot.
Right. If there's Israelis protesting I don't know, protesting anything, really. Let's say they were out there protesting the war as well. You're going to stop them too? Take them away?
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is
Right.
ridiculous.
It is, and it's really... It's really sad that this is happening, right?
It
it's
is
happening
sad.
in our country.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
The land of the free. Supposedly.
Home of the brave.
Yes.
What's that? Look up at the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman. That's right, Superman. Here to fight the evil fascists. Truth, justice, and the American way. Whatever the fuck that is. Remember that 50s movie, Superman?
Oh, yeah, those are great.
George Reeves.
I have another thing to bring up.
What's that?
So Trump is now going after the Smithsonian. Okay, what he's saying is basically, if you have improper ideology, we're going to pull our funding.
Okay, so this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If the Smithsonian is the Smithsonian like it was 20, 30 years ago, and they actually talked about real history and continued that instead of adopting this far leftist ideology of endorsing transgenderism and there are more than two gender. Are they endorsing all that? Is there a reason why he's doing that?
I don't think so. I didn't see that.
Okay. Because there would be something like that, kind of like how was it Miller or Bud Light?
Oh, Bud Light, yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Go woke, go broke.
Right.
No, I mean they're trying to push something like that. I mean, really?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
there
is a. I know they're going to put up a women's history museum, and
there's nothing wrong with that. But
Well,
as
no,
long
but
as
they're
it's
saying-
women and not, well, I think I'm a tree this week.
well, that's what they're saying.
Well, I don't know, and I didn't hear that.
Well,
But
that-
to me,
that
Trump,
was in here.
if Trump were to do something like that, I would think it would have something to do with a far leftist progressive ideology that is kind of ridiculous to begin with. That'd be the only way. And he's from New York, he's from New Jersey. I mean, the guy's very metropolitan. He's not really he's not from Pike County, Kentucky, man. This guy, he's a New Yorker.
Well, he's wanting to put up all the statues of the Confederates. He wants those back up.
Okay, now, why did they take those down? For what?
I believe because.
I mean, I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I agree with them taking them down
Why?
because they were traitors.
Okay, so then why don't we? So
Why are we?
well then, so why don't we ban the Bible too? I'll tell you. No, I knew you were going to say why.
Why?
It's a rhetorical question.
Go ahead.
Okay, because there's slavery in the Bible all the way through. They talk about slavery.
I didn't say anything about slavery.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
what I'm telling you is
then why
those
you
people-
then why are you taking down those statues?
I just told you because they were traitors.
Okay, what about Lincoln? Maybe we should take his statue down too.
For what?
Okay, so you're okay with taking their statue down because they're traitors. What do you mean they're traitors?
They
The
tra-
South?
Yes, they went against the government.
Oh, they went against kind of like us. We go against the government. Are we traitors?
Not the same thing.
It is the same thing. We're going against the government. We're anti-government. What are you talking about?
So these people,
we don't own slaves. I know that.
They wanted their own country.
They wanted their own country. Okay, that was over 120 years ago. It was state rights versus federal rights.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I know the history behind it.
So do I.
Okay, but the reason why they took down a statue has nothing to do with them going to the government.
What I'm trying to
it
tell
has
you
to do
is
because it's with slavery. That's why. That's why they're taking it down.
That's
So
part
I
of
say
it.
we take down Lincoln's
that should be
statue,
part
and
of
I'll
it.
tell you why we take down Lincoln's statue. Lincoln invaded the South, went down there and killed innocent Southerners that had nothing to do with the slave trade. Nothing. 1% of the people of the South own slaves. 1%.
Okay.
That's like bombing Lebanon and bombing a wedding and saying, well, collateral damage, right? We're killing terrorists. You killed one terrorist and killed 500 innocent people. Lincoln did the same thing, okay? From what I see and what I hear, okay? Now, I don't endorse slavery at all, okay? That was wrong.
Right.
But it wasn't everybody in the South that owned slaves. It was 1%, and it was the oligarchs. But for you to sit there
I'm
and
not
say,
arguing that.
Okay, but this is
Not
the
my
thing,
argument.
though. Okay, this is the thing, though. Okay, I asked why they take those statues down. They took those statues down because they were supposedly for slavery. It has nothing to do with going against the government.
Listen.
Yeah, because the
They
South
tried
wanted
to
to govern
secede.
itself.
They tried to secede from the government.
Well, okay, all right.
From the United States.
Yeah,
they did.
but the real reason why they did it was because of slavery. But then again, Lincoln said, and he said in his memoirs, if I could end this war without ending slavery, I would.
Yep.
Okay, and Lincoln was born in Kentucky. See, he's a Southerner. Now, I'm not for banning anything. I don't want to ban statues. I don't want to ban Lincoln statue. I don't want to ban the South statue. Put them in a museum. We got to learn from this stuff. Okay?
I agree.
Okay,
That's
all right.
fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you. Because now we're getting into this politically incorrectness crap. You know, because the next thing you know, we're going to take down pictures of Jesus, too, because it offends somebody. I don't want to get to that.
I don't want to either.
Well, I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
If we live in an open society, then we have to tolerate things we don't like.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. Okay, thank you. So you agree with me on
No,
that?
I do. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just that,
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
put them in a museum, though. Don't put them out in
Whatever.
downtown Birmingham or wherever.
I mean, look. Every 2 minutes you see on the History Channel, World War II and what the Allies did, and they're going. They always constantly talk about what Hitler did or what he didn't do, or the Allies and the D-Day,
Right.
and they talk about the Jews always getting killed. World War II. That's what they shove up down our throat all the time.
Yep.
They're not going to ban that.
Nope.
We
They
need to
shouldn't.
know this stuff.
We do need to know this stuff. Absolutely. I
This
agree.
history repeats itself. Okay.
Okay.
We got that straight.
Little break.
Thank you. So
Alrighty.
welcome back to Two Deans and No Waiting. As we were just on break, we just got something over the hot wire.
Hot wire.
This just in. Flash news. Total fucking war. UK and France officially sending troops to fight Russia in Ukraine. This is World War III. To say it in my normal voice, because this is serious shit. We were just talking about this. Total fucking war. So UK and France are sending troops now to Ukraine to fight Russia. This is not going to stop. There's somebody there that wants a big war, and it's going to happen. That's what it looks like. You know, I talked about the bombers. Everything is coincided. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everything is coincided from Israel to Syria to Russia to Ukraine to possibly even an invasion of Taiwan. I mean,
So-
I've heard pundits talk about there could be within a 30-day limit. China has a open window to do this. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I don't see things getting better right now.
I don't either. And these troops, they're saying that this is for peacekeeping forces. I love how they send the military for peacekeeping.
Right. And like I said before on the show, all this is going to do is going to escalate the war.
Yep.
That's what it's going to do.
Yeah.
You think Putin's going to stop bombing now because of this?
No, the ceasefire is going to be out the window.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, even
I-
if it was even
Right.
on the table, to be honest with you, I have no idea.
Unbelievable. I mean, like
This
you
is
could
sad.
you could wake up one day and there could be 3-4 cities nuked with dirty bombs, suitcase bombs.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, that's worst case scenario. But I don't see. I mean, am I wrong? Are things going to get better? Is this smoke and mirrors?
No.
Is this a psyop? I mean, what is this?
You know what this is? This is us not learning a damn thing from history, ever. we repeat ourselves over and over and over again. Maybe it's a different reason to go to war, but we're constantly at war. I can't remember when the
Right.
United States has not been involved in some type of war, or the world. To be honest with you, we're always it's been a perpetual war.
Exactly.
It's
You know
sad.
what? You know what? Let's keep this domestically.
Okay.
I totally agree with what you're saying. We're the only country in the world that's had nothing but perpetual war, like you said,
Yeah.
since World War II. Every decade, I'll count. World War II, okay, Korea,
Yep.
Vietnam,
Yep.
okay. Then we also
70s were still in Vietnam.
well, yeah, Vietnam. Also, of course, you
Afghanistan.
had a Grenada, that
Oh,
2 day,
Grenada.
that
Yep.
real quick, whatever. That was all bullshit. That was about drugs too.
You had Grenada, you had
Okay.
Panama.
Okay, you had Panama. Okay, of course we had Iraq 2 times.
Yep.
You had Afghanistan.
Yep.
And how many proxy wars by proxy?
Oh, God.
Syria, Libya, what's going on in Lebanon, Israel. And those are
yeah.
proxies. Every decade we've had a war since World War II. Exactly like you said.
Right. We don't learn. And why are we, all we're doing
Well, they
is,
learn because they want money.
And all we're
You
doing-
and I get upset, and the people
Right.
that the innocent people that die,
Yeah, we're killing
the casualties
people.
of war, they don't care.
We're killing people. This is horrible.
I know it is. It's bad. And what we just read is scary because this goes back to what I was saying earlier about the 6 stealth bombers that are getting ready. From what sources are saying, that this could be imminent. I'm just relaying the message here. Don't shoot the messenger. This isn't ancient Greece.
I haven't seen any of that. but
I've heard from other people that I've listened to.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, maybe it's not, but I hope, not. Maybe it's just posture, like I said. But now that I get this over the phone on our 5-minute break, it kind of coincides with what we were saying earlier. That this is dangerous times, man. Things are not going to get better, man. If people think they're going to get better right away, they're not. They're going to get bad before they get worse. I hope that I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. Geopolitically, things are just as bad as what they were, a few years ago.
Yeah. I just don't understand any of this. And
It's
constantly at war.
It's ridiculous.
What's our defense spending?
Oh, trillions.
I mean, just on defense.
Oh,
we're trying
goodness.
to be an efficient. Like the Doge is trying to be efficient. We're getting rid of Social Security, or we're going to do all this crap.
They're not going to get rid of Social Security.
I hope not.
They're not going to get rid of. They're not going to get rid of Medicare. They're not going to get rid of Social Security.
Well,
but they're getting rid of stuff. They're, like I said, the Department of Education started in 1979. I think you brought up a good topic here. Okay. It started in 1979 under Carter. Get rid of it. Goodbye. Take a look at the demographics from 79 to 2019 and look at the standard of education from that time. It has gone downhill. Okay. And that's another thing as well. They probably, I don't like the bureaucracy, get rid of it, but it didn't help when you do have a big war lobby and they take that money, they use it for war too, so that possibly don't help either.
That doesn't help. But here's the thing on that. Okay, you want to get rid of the Department of Education for whatever reason. I don't even care. Doesn't matter. Fine. What's your plan? You don't have a plan. All you say is, we're going to kick it back to the states. Well, there should be some kind of a plan. You know what I'm saying?
I get
There's no plan.
I'm thinking the way a conservative thinks, okay? And I don't want to label myself. I do have some conservative ideas. I do have some kind of liberal ideas, but I don't want to label myself. So conservative thinks like this. He's already done all he has to because he's leaving it back up to the state. So if the federal government gets involved, then that's the federal government getting involved.
Right.
So now it's up to the states to take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's fine, but
So what's our state going to do about it?
well, here's the thing too. States are going to need time to.
Oh, it's not going to be right away. Right, I get it.
Okay, this is what. Let's say I wanted to get rid of the Department of Education. I'm the president. Listen, we want to kick it back to the states. This isn't working, and we're wasting money on it. So this is what I propose. We give it back to the states on this date. 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever. That way you have time and you can figure it out. But just to get rid of it,
Get rid of it. He did
and then
it,
there's nothing.
but that's the thing.
I don't like that.
It saves us money. Okay, now don't tax me enough. I mean, don't tax me a lot. You know what? You get rid of these agencies, and you should.
Oh, jeez.
Save my money. You're laughing at somebody. Quit looking at porn,
No,
damn it.
I'm not looking at porn.
Okay, well, that's my phone anyways.
The
but-
United States spends approximately $820.3 billion on defense alone. What are we doing here? What a waste of money that is.
They're making money off it.
Billion.
Right? And I'm telling you, that kind of spending has led to what's going on today.
All these
with
wars.
Inflation, taxation, and everything else. They keep taking our money and they're using it for this stuff. I mean, most Americans are, they know this now. And
yeah.
Man, ever since 9/11, the budget has quadrupled.
Right.
The big topic before 9/11 was we needed something to raise the military budget. And you know what? They got it after 9/11.
Absolutely.
Oh, the Congress gave them a blank check, and ever since then, they haven't stopped.
Took away some of our rights with
What
the
a
Patriot
perfect-
Act. They did everything.
They did everything
they
and
could.
That was all an inside job,
my
just like
God.
October 7th, just
So-
like all that stuff. The Gulf of Tonkin, all lies, lies, lies.
Okay, so 820 billion. Can't you you could take away 100 billion from that and do so much good with it.
Yeah, and
rather
and they
than
don't.
that.
Right.
And I'm just saying. And even 720 is ridiculous.
It is.
So
Totally. I know it's bad. I mean,
I'm
what are you going to
flabbergasted.
do? I know it's horrible. All that money we could use to fix the economy, just that billion alone.
Right.
We could create so many jobs with that by fixing the frickin' infrastructure. How about creating like a railway, a transnational railway from like New York to California?
Oh,
Wouldn't that
that'd
be
be nice.
awesome?
Yeah.
Imagine fixing the infrastructure. What that would do. That'd be good union jobs too, right? Great paying jobs. But they don't.
That's crazy talk.
I know it's crazy talk. And they don't want to do that. They destroyed the middle class. They want everybody on that universal income, man. They want you to make $50,000 a year and that's it.
Do you know how many bases
Oh, jeez.
the bases around? What if we closed some of them? Or a lot of them?
Well, yeah. I mean, look. Well,
That costs money.
well, that's the thing, though. They keep justifying for war. We need to build more weapons to fight Russia.
No, we don't. We don't.
I agree.
My God, we could take out half the world with 1980s technology now. There's
True.
no reason for
True.
this. Well, we need these new updated
I know.
bombers. No, we don't.
It's just a money pit, Dean.
Yeah, it's
all it is.
disgusting.
It's a money
and
pit.
I can't believe that we're part of this crap.
And that's the thing. Like I said, they're pushing everybody towards universal income.
Right.
Look at AI is taking all the jobs over. Humans were supposed to control their own environment. It's gotten to where now humans created this entity that's going to control us. And it's not human.
It has the potential. To,
It will. It
Well,
will.
well.
In the next 5 to 10 years.
iRobot.
Well, that's where we're heading. Like, in the next 5 to 10 years, jobs will be cut in half. I mean, we know all the stuff going on, all the automation.
Yep.
All these buildings you see that they're building up, they're cutting the workforce in half because they have the AI to do it. So yes, to answer your question, they don't want to take that billion and create jobs. No, because that's free capitalism there.
100
They
billion.
don't want free capitalism.
I said
They want
100
crony capitalism.
I said
What's
100
it?
billion.
100 billion, a billion, even a billion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 820 billion, 100, you could spend 720 and put that 100 billion somewhere else. I mean, we could help homeless people. We could help the mentally challenged.
They don't want to do anything like that. And for the people that are really hardcore conservative, okay, so we don't have to do it for social programs, but like I said,
Right.
we can put it back into the economy because that's capitalism.
Right.
Putting it back into the economy, just like you make money, you invest, you put it in a stock, it grows, you prosper. Well, they're not doing that.
Right.
That's like you live with a drunken sailor, somebody who spends all this money, spends it, and you have nothing left.
Right.
That's our government,
Yeah, that's basically what
No
they do.
fiscal responsibility whatsoever.
None.
I mean, you're kind of seeing it now with this administration. I get it, and they're cutting things.
This is bad.
But I know you don't agree with all that, but
Well-
nevertheless, I mean, we do need some type of and
that's
these kids growing up today do not know what capitalism is. Me, for the longest time, You know, I was
True
little. I was
capitalism,
true capitalism is what we're talking about.
Right, yeah.
You know, not this artificial print more money, bail these banks out, create these zombie banks, give more money to the banks. No, that's crony capitalism. That's capitalism for the rich.
So
They're creating this feudalistic society. I don't mean to take over the.
That's okay. I am.
But I will anyways.
I'm not against efficiency. I'm not against them doing what they're doing. It's the way they're doing it. Okay, let's get rid of U.S. aid. We don't like what that. Okay, well, what's your plan? There's no plan. It's just get out. There's nothing. That's what you know what I'm saying.
Some things.
Musk says that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme.
A Ponzi scheme. He said that.
Yes, he did. Okay.
They're not going to get rid of Social Security.
Well, listen. Okay, what's your plan? There's no plan. They just give. Oh, it's bad, so we got to get rid of it. Okay, but what's the plan to take over for it? How are you going to take care of these people?
Limited government. That's what they want.
It's insane to me.
Although I'm for limited government too, but I'm not for getting rid of Social Security or Medicare.
Right.
Medicaid. These are something we pay for, like private property.
We pay for in our paychecks.
Don't get rid of it. But the other bureaucracy, okay, let's quit giving money to the World Health Organization. How about that? What do we give that money for? For what?
Their research.
Research for what? We have researchers here. We got to give it to the World Health Organization. I want to stop things like that. I want to stop those slush funds too, like we talked about before. Mm-hmm. I'm all for getting rid of organizations like that. Definitely.
World Health Organization, I believe.
Oh, you need to get vaccinated. Okay, either you do it or you don't. I mean, whatever. Well, I mean, most people, it should be a choice. What else well, it should be a choice, just like everything else.
I just don't.
What, you don't agree that vaccines should be a choice? You should be forced to get vaccinated? No, come on. You're not a libertarian no more.
Listen,
you're
tough.
Authoritarian.
It's tough. For me, it's tough. I mean, listen.
Most people do get the common vaccines.
They do, yeah.
They get the measles, the mumps, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones they want to give these kids, come on.
I don't know what else.
My daughter, there was a whole list of shit they wanted to give her. We gave her the basic ones.
No.
Okay,
I'm talking about the basic ones. No.
There's come on, the hepatitis C shot for an infant.
No. I don't.
You should see some of the lists that they give these people.
Okay, so I understand that. I'm talking about like measles, mumps, rubella, that kind of stuff, polio, the basics. Yes, we need basics. The other stuff, no. I think you should decide for yourself. Absolutely. But hepatitis C? When have we had a breakout of that? I didn't get that shot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's some crazy shots that they're giving.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you on that then. But the basics ones.
Would you like a shot for pneumonia?
No.
Would you like a shot for the whooping cough? Would you like a shot for your dick to get hard?
Maybe. Now we're talking, baby. Well, thank you very much. I think it's very good. I think I'll have it right up my butt. Thank you. Yeah.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do something on that. I mean, there are a couple of things though I wanted to talk about with RFK Jr. So he challenged the governor of West Virginia to lose weight. He said he'd be his personal trainer.
Who? Really?
Yeah.
When was this?
Yesterday, I think.
Okay, so
also,
what's wrong with that? Is
nothing.
Okay,
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
What I do like though is what he did say though that was kind of mean. He goes, "I thought you swallowed the last governor." When I first saw
he did
you
say that.
Yeah. But anyways, West Virginia is the first state to ban the dyes. Like red number, whatever,
really?
All that stuff.
Yes,
that is a good thing.
That is a great thing.
I agree with.
Okay, yes. And you know what? I hope more states will follow suit. Because, like we said last time on our show, that we're going back to the age of paranoia. I'm hearing terrorism a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing cartels. You know what? You're more likely to die of cancer than you are of getting killed by a Wahhabi soldier in the middle of Manhattan.
Right.
Or getting shot up by somebody from a drug cartel who just popped out of nowhere. You're more likely to die of cancer, and the food that we eat, I think, is more critical than anything else. At least this administration kind of has brought awareness, which I like, to that, because before you never had awareness. Like, just whatever, no. At least you're bringing the awareness, and more people are in tune with high fructose corn syrup, with
Right.
aspartame,
Right.
with what was the saccharin that caused cancer in the 70s and 80s,
Right.
and Roundup.
NutraSweet.
You can go into Canada and you can't buy Roundup.
Right.
They
banned it.
Yeah, they banned it. Here
Yeah.
they don't.
No.
That's a good thing when you do stuff like that.
I think so.
They should ban Monsanto. How about them?
Monsanto. Don't even get me
Woo,
started.
let's get started about them, huh?
Oh my God, they're
You know,
horrible.
You
want-
know,
yeah,
you know who was on the Monsanto payroll? Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Oh, big spokesperson.
Yep. Okay. The earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand. That's horrible.
You're gonna. I briefly touched upon that, but
Oh, did you?
elaborate? I don't know much about it. I know it was like a 7.5 or something.
Yeah, there's a big one.
How many people died?
Right now they're saying 150 people, but there's going to be way more.
be way
than
more?
that. Yeah, I think so. But my point here is normally we go and help those people through USAID, which they have gutted. So they're no longer able to go over there with their dog sniffing. The dogs that go over there and try and find people in the rubble, medical help.
Did they really cut that?
Yeah. They can't do it.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean that's a fact. There was and I'm not trying to downplay this. I mean this is horrible news, and I'm sure that the United States people will donate money through the Red Cross or whatever, because Americans are very giving. Our government is not.
Of course not. They don't want to give what's yours. Are you kidding? I'll take that back.
Right.
Medicare. You gotta be kidding me. You pay for it, but you don't get it when you get a certain age.
Right.
Die on your own, you son of a bitch. Die, you cocksucker.
Sit down.
Sit down and shut up. As the big Dubrzezinski said to that lady when
Yep.
she questioned 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
9/11 was an inside down. Sit down and shut up.
Oh yeah, that was the congresswoman. I
It was somebody, I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. But anyway, there's also God, I can't remember now, but there is a state. One state has banned fluoride. They took it away.
Hey, it's about time.
Yeah.
Half our kids have autism, but it's about time.
Well, we don't.
Fluoride is bad.
I don't know if it's bad. Good for
Well,
your teeth.
it's bad.
I
A
have
lot
no
of it
idea.
is bad.
Here's the problem with that.
So they banned. Wait. So they banned fluoride in toothpaste, or
No, and just in the water.
Oh, good. Yes. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
all
should
right.
leave it in.
Yeah, sure,
Leave it
sure.
in toothpaste.
Well, a little bit, Ray. But you don't want to eat it.
Well, no.
Nevertheless,
You don't want to
in
do
the
that.
water, right? If there's an abundance of it,
Weird.
it's bad.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
really
thing.
is. No, I agree.
Which state was this?
Well, that's the thing. I can't. Hold on.
It was probably France.
No.
It was
United
here.
States.
The United States of corporations actually did.
One of our states here.
Oh, okay,
in America.
So I guess that is an improvement.
Yeah.
More awareness to how sick the food makes you, and start banning those additives, those preservatives, the things that have been making Americans fat, crazy, and stupid, like us.
Yes.
You know?
Because we are cuckoo.
Right. You trying to find it, or
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but
or is your wife texting
Utah.
you?
Utah becomes the first state to ban fluoride in public drinking water.
Way to go, Mormons. Good
Despite
job.
widespread opposition from dentists and national health organizations.
Okay. So that's a good thing, because we don't need it in the water.
We don't need it in the water.
No, of course not.
Like I said, toothpaste we can keep it
Right.
in. You still
Exactly.
get your fluoride. I mean, but yeah, we don't need it in our drinking water.
So-
and God knows what happens if you have too much of it.
Yeah, I know it's bad.
I don't
mean,
know.
this is what the Germans did. They give them fluoride. They were giving them fluoride. A lot of countries, a lot of authoritarian countries were doing that. It's not a good thing, right?
I don't think so.
No,
But
fluoride isn't really good. I mean, too much of it, right?
right. Well, too much of anything is pretty
I know.
bad.
What are you going to do? I mean, so much going on in the world right now.
Yeah, this is.
We're
It's
talk
scary
about-
right now. How about we go through your asshole of the week? here?
Oh, is it that time?
I think so.
You got your preparation
It is
H
that-
ready?
It is that time.
You got your goddamn preparation H ready. I got my damn asshole of the week, you son of a bitch. Oh, you want to go first? You want to do Liberty?
I
first?
can do mine first.
Okay,
Yours
yeah.
is better than mine anyway.
Go ahead, because
My-
this relates to what we've been talking about too.
My
so.
asshole of the week is Pete Hegseth. I mean, this guy is a moron. He's to say that you were secure on that whole thing is just insane to me. They didn't even check to see who else was in the group. All you got to do is push the little button on the top of your phone, and it tells you who exactly is in that group. None of them did that. They're all dumbasses. I called it a long time ago. These people are overwhelmingly underqualified for these jobs, and they shouldn't be there. And it's unfortunate that this had to happen, but I believe that they should just all resign. But we'll see what happens.
Oh!
Here's the good one, though.
Well, look, this coincides with what we were talking about. Asshole of the week is becoming pretty popular because the people we know come up to us and say, so who are you going to pick for asshole of the week?
Yeah.
I actually like surfing the web, and you won't believe how many assholes this big Greek nose sniffs out. Oh my goodness. And this one here coincides with what we're talking about. My asshole of the week this week is the mayor of Miami, Florida. Yes, Stephen Miner. Right, he closed down a movie theater because he didn't like the documentary they were playing.
Yeah.
The documentary was about the Palestinians and how they were being treated. This documentary I suggest people watch because this asshole just put fire in mine. And let me tell you something. The documentary is called No Other Land, and it's Oscar winning. It's made up by independent directors. It's a collaboration of Israelis and Palestinians working together. In this movie, I should say documentary, shows the hardships of the Palestinians. This mayor had enough nerve to say that the reason why he shut down that movie theater is because it was one-sided. The documentary was one-sided. He should know all about being one-sided because he's one-sided. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's a Zionist. Of course he is. You can see his colors, true colors coming out. You do not silence people for having a different opinion. We cannot become authoritarian. That's a fascist ideology.
Right.
Okay? We don't need this to shut down a whole movie theater. And you know what else he did? No. This really blows me. This mayor, who was a lawyer, he used to work for the U.S. Security Exchange, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how long ago, but he's a former lawyer. And, oh, my God. He banned this movie theater.
The whole theater? Not just the movie?
I mean, he not only shut it down, not only shut it down, but he also terminated their lease and cut their funds.
Nice.
Yeah. So yes,
he must lean Republican.
Oh, he is so pro-Israel. Okay. It shows. Okay. He probably has dual citizenship.
That doesn't matter.
Talk about a conflict of interest. Well, whatever. He is Jewish Orthodox, so he's one-sided.
Well, no,
but he did talk about how the documentary is one-sided. But you're one-sided.
Right.
He's a hypocrite.
You can't. Yeah. You gotta have. This is America. Free speech. This documentary won the Academy Award.
I know. To shut down a whole movie theater because you don't like the documentary.
Best documentary.
Stephen Miner. Congratulations. You're asshole of the week.
His asshole of the week, and it looks like mine as well because that is horrible.
Yeah, and it goes. And you know what else I found out? That the producers got beat up in Israel.
Oh, that's great.
So they were attacked.
Great.
So much for anti-Semitism. We always hear about that, but we're not hearing. We never see. And there's two sides to every story. That's the problem we have here. Is we only want to hear one side.
That's right.
We don't want to hear the other side. How do the Palestinians feel? But if you turn on TBN and the radical, crazy Christian network, which I don't understand. I mean, this station, they have the Israeli flag. Like, I could swear it's like live coming out of Tel Aviv, man.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. I agree.
It's America first, not Israel first.
No, not according to them.
They're loyal. Their blind loyalty towards Israel. They don't even acknowledge the Palestinians. 30% of Palestinians are Orthodox. Okay, they're Christian. Mm-hmm. They're Greek Orthodox. They're some Catholic, but nevertheless, they're being killed. They've been since 1948.
Right.
And there's an attack on them, but you don't hear about it. You do a little bit. There are more people.
Right now
taking
you do.
There are more people taking a stand today than they have in the last 10, 20 years, for sure.
Right.
The tide is kind of changing.
And I'm not anti-Israel. I'm not.
Oh, we're not either. I'm just anti-government.
This is insane.
Governments
to me.
are bad just about everywhere.
Oh, yeah, including our own.
I don't like the way the Israeli government is treating the Palestinians.
I don't either.
And it really has nothing to do with a religion.
No.
This is an ideology that they think they have superiority
Right, they do.
over Palestinians.
The government.
Yes.
I mean, from what I've heard right now, there's over 60% of Israelis don't even want Netanyahu in office.
This guy here,
He is a turd.
when he gets out of office, they want to prosecute him and put him in jail.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail. This is murder.
I know he's not a nice guy. I
No.
mean, he's head of Mossad.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that tell you?
Right.
We could talk all day about Israel and
We
the
could.
troubles between the Palestinians but yeah, that asshole of the week, he really. When I read that, I was like, wow,
That's horrible.
wow.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's called No Other Land.
Well,
I'm
we
going to
can't-
watch it too.
Yeah, but it's not out on anything yet. It's not
It's not
streaming
on-
yet. So
Yeah,
as soon as that happens, though, we will let you know.
Oh, for sure.
So
Oh yeah, we want to push that documentary.
I would love to see it now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it's made up of Israelis and Palestinians.
Right, because there's a whole bunch of Israelis that are against this as well.
Right.
They don't want them.
So we're not targeting them at all.
No, I'm
we're,
not, no.
We're targeting the government that's doing this.
Right. Yes, and like I said, without the support of his own people.
Right. Exactly. And there's a lot of Israelis that are not on board.
No, they're not
At all.
No, they should. I've met many Israelis that have said that. They were like, no, we want peace there. They're our friends. They're our brothers.
Right.
I mean, they truly are. If they all came from Abraham.
Right. Well.
So
yeah.
I mean, you can argue that whatever way you want
Sure.
to, but according to
Well, he is the patriarch of all three religions too:
right. So I mean,
Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
So I mean, that makes no sense for them to kill him.
Right.
And, I mean, and it just goes all the way back. It's just insane to me
I know.
how they're fighting over this stuff.
I know it is sad, and if we can voice our opinion,
Yep, that's it.
as long as we have the power to do that, and they don't come take that away.
Right.
Protest, freedom of speech, right to assembly. I mean, come on, let's keep these things intact, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just because somebody has a different opinion than you, we shouldn't silence them.
Right.
Let's not become the enemy either. And I think I said something last show
Trump
about
did-
the conservatives are, using that kind of psyop to where they're using those words like terrorism and then trying to label people that are vandalizing, which is wrong. They want to call them terrorists. That's the same thing the left did the last 4 years. Oh, you don't want your vaccine? You're a domestic terrorist. Oh, you're against the wars? You're a domestic terrorist. No, let's not do that.
Right. No, I agree. And unfortunately, Trump does this stuff. He kicked out the Associated Press and somebody else because they didn't agree with him on changing the